I welcome you all to the expert interaction session by Dr. Peeja, Rajan. May I request Professor Kamal Kishore Sharma and Dr. Peeja Rajan to please join me here on stage. May we have a warm round of applause, please? May I request Professor Kamal to present Dr. Rajan with a ponada? I would like to request Professor Kamal to introduce Dr. Rajan.
Right, good morning to you. It's a pleasure to introduce Dr. Peeja Rajan. She serves as the Kerala State Coordinator for UN Women, United Nations Women, where she leads key collaborations with the government of Kerala, including the Gender Park, Gender Sensitive Urban Planning, Women Friendly Tourism, and POSH initiatives. With an academic background spanning medicine, psychology, human rights, and women and gender studies, she has contributed to projects such as Gender Inclusive Corridor in Cities, Gender Inclusive and Safety Indicators, the Gender Audit of Tourism Destinations in Kerala, and policy recommendations. She played a central role in developing India's first gender inclusive and women friendly tourism policy for the government of Kerala. With a huge round of applause, I invite Dr. Rajan to deliver the keynote, please.
Namaskaram. A very good morning to all. It's indeed a great privilege to stand here and represent UN Women, the United Nations entity for gender equality and women empowerment. Since 2021, UN Women has been part of various programs of Government of Kerala, as Sir has already told, with the Women and Child Development Department, with Department of Tourism, Transport, and Kudumbashri and other academic institutions. When we speak of globalizing Indian thoughts, we are not merely exporting culture or philosophy. We are globalizing a mindset, a way of seeking the world that is holistic, inclusive, and deeply human. It's about taking forward India's centuries-old belief in Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, that the world is one family, and translating it to policies, spaces, and systems that embody equality and dignity for all. UN Women, the United Nations entity for gender equality, has been inspired by this philosophy that progress cannot be meaningful if it leaves half the population behind. Gender equality is not a women's issue, it's a societal issue. It's about fairness, freedom, and the full realization of human potential. As we reflect on globalization of Indian thought, it becomes essential to recognize that the true measures of progress lies in how a society safeguards the dignity, safety, and freedom of its women and girls. Around the world and across India, women and girls continue to experience and fear different forms of gender-based violence in public spaces, ranging from unwelcome remarks and gestures to severe acts of rape and femicide. These realities restrict their freedom of movement, curtail their participation in education, employment, and public life, and diminish their overall well being. Since 2021, UN Women is working in Kerala, collaborating with local self-governments and communities to government departments and urban systems to bring a gender lens into spaces that were never designed with women in mind. There comes the Gender Inclusive Urban Planning Project with Government of Kerala, where we are collaborating and providing technical support. Cities, as they grow, often forget the lived realities of women, children, elderly, and persons with disabilities. The gender inclusive urban planning is basically based on the Safe Cities and Safe Public Spaces framework of UN Women. The basic principle of safe cities being know where you are and where you are going with the help of signages. See and to be seen, that is the visibility. Hear and to be heard, presence of people in public spaces. Be able to get help, that's surveillance and access. Clean and friendly environment like spatial design and maintenance, and act together, the community participation. Through the gender inclusive urban planning initiatives, the pilot is being implemented in Calicut City, the gender inclusive corridor. We have identified a 2-kilometer stretch of a street from the Kerala State Transport Corporation bus stand in Calicut City through the most busiest street, SM Street, you may be aware in Calicut, to the railway station. It's a 2-kilometer stretch where we are planning to introduce a gender inclusive corridor project with the support of local self-government authorities. We have sought to mainstream gender consideration to the very fabric of city making. This includes rethinking land use policies, pedestrian pathways, lighting, toilets, signages, and most importantly, decision-making processes. Women must not just be beneficiaries of urban designs, they must be co-creators of urban futures. And the most difficult part while working on this was the convergence. Convergence of department, convergence of local communities, the NGOs, the community workers, and hopefully we were to a certain extent successful to get it implemented in the city. One thread that runs through all this effort is definitely convergence. Real transformation does not happen in silos. It happens when government departments, local bodies, community organizations, and academic institutions come together with a shared vision. This multi-agency convergence is India's silent strength, a governance model that bridges traditional wisdom with institutional innovation. Local self-governance bodies, for instance, are not merely administrative units, they are the living laboratories of democracy capable of fostering inclusive growth and social reform. If we are to globalize Indian thought, we must globalize this idea that inclusive governance is not top-down, but participatory, not prescriptive, but collaborative. The challenges identified during the urban planning, gender inclusive urban planning, or the corridor development were the limited resources, availability of such a plan, such an idea which is already existing. Lack of policy support. Of course, we have a national plan of sanitation policy which defines how toilets to be made in the public spaces, like for every 20,000 population in the public space, one toilet. Like that, there are some policies or guidelines for barrier-free access to disabled persons and elderly, but a specific guideline for an inclusive public space, which not only caters to women, but men, women, trans persons, other gendered minorities, elderly, disabled people, we are not having a policy. The world today is searching for sustainable, inclusive models of development. Climate change, urbanization, gender inequity are really global issues, yet the solutions often lie in local practices, in micro-level experiments that embody empathy and sustainability. As we look ahead, I believe our responsibility is twofold. First, to continue refining our local practices to make every village, city, and institution in India a beacon of gender justice and inclusion. And second, to document, disseminate, and dialogue so that these experiences inspire and inform global movements for equality and sustainable development. I believe that through the lens of gender equality and inclusive development, we can give new meaning to the idea of globalizing Indian thoughts, transforming them to philosophy, into practice, from values lived into lived reality. Thank you and a good day. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very insightful talk. I would like to request Professor Kamal to present a memento as a token of our appreciation to Dr. Rajan. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. With this, we come to an end to this expert interaction. Coming up next is a very interesting panel discussion. So I request everybody to please remain seated and wait so that we can start. Thank you.